Hello, welcome to LLG's Random But Real podcast, where you'll hear conversations about any and all things random with an entree, not a side dish, of mental health advocacy. I use my performance, communication, and literary art skills to bring awareness about mental health and other topics. Therefore, whether I'm singing, speaking, or writing, it is my desire that my words will be melodic, just like music to your ears. Welcome to LLG. That's me, Lisa L. Gilliam's Random But Real podcast. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this edition of LLG Random But Real, where we, try to give you all information so that you are able to even help us break some of the stigmas that are associated with mental health. As my friend Danya Parker, one of the Stigma Breaker Collective's members, says, mental health affects every aspect of your life. And I know that to be true, besides the fact that I used to be a former counselor, and also, still help people through restorative practice work. But I also know that to be true as I was looking to get a loan for purchase a condo or a house. And I have to give a shout out to Ms. Lloyd, my coworker. She introduced me to this wonderful guest we have today, Mr. Ray. And Mr. Ray, welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining. A lot of people may not think about the things that kind of come up when you're purchasing a home. The anxiety maybe or let's first just talk about who you are and the name of your company because I was so impressed you all. I just wanted to help you all to have the information that and the services that he gave me. So please, Mr. Ray.
All righty. My name is Richard. Last name is Ray, and I am the managing partner here at Caliver Beach Mortgage. We are a nationwide mortgage lender. We provide residential and commercial financing nationwide with a special interest and a focus in serving the communities in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia. Me personally, I have been in the business now for 27 years. And this is one of those businesses that you definitely have to love what you're doing because your love is put to test every single day. It is one of those businesses to whom much is given, much is required. It comes with a lot of responsibility, but it's definitely a joy to be able to help families in two different areas, and that's with purchasing a new home and also being able to rearrange or refinance their existing loans if for who wish to save on their interest rate or take cash out of their home to do home improvements and different things like that. But I really enjoy what I'm doing. I've had the opportunity to build some of the largest financial institutions in the country, and it is certainly my pleasure to be a partner in building Caliver Beach Mortgage.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. You went out a few times, but I hope the listeners will be able to catch all of that information. I will tell you all this. Mr. Ray is a busy man. So for real, I am honored that you took the time. He's always on the go. I think I met him, but I just like beginning of the week, he took time to fit me into the schedule. Because I had received some horrible news. Most of you all know the interest rates were we recently went up. And so with the increase, it basically, in a sense, was knocking me out of home ownership. I've since decided to do some other things, which I'll share with the listeners once everything is confirmed. However, one of the things that for me that was so I guess nerve wracking was just the stress. I mean, it's a positive stress because you're excited that you're about to purchase a home, but it can also be overwhelming. So what do you think, someone who is interested in purchasing, what is one of the things that they can do, or what are some of the things they can do to alleviate some of the stress that may be associated with purchasing or refinance?
Yes. So great question. So really is it's about realizing that you know, we as consumers are not necessarily the subject matter experts.
Mm,
Sometimes we, as individuals and as consumers, we try to take on a lot more than we're prepared to take on, or than we're qualified to take on. And we rely heavily on, our friends' information from the internet, and we just try to figure it out on our own. And
mm,
sometimes you can become so exhausted from trying to figure it out on your own that by the time that it's actually time to engage in the process, you're already fatigued.
true.
One of the best pieces of advice that I can give to anyone that's looking to purchase a home or refinance their home is to consult with a local licensed expert in the field.
Okay.
A local licensed expert in the field. And what you should be looking for is someone who's not necessarily looking to make a sale, right? Not
Mm,
looking to make a sale, but you're looking to sit down and work with someone that's willing and looking to start off first and foremost with the education component, right?
okay.
Because a lot of stress and anxiety in the process, just like with anything else in life, comes from what you know or what you don't know.
Okay.
What you don't know really can stress you out. It's like, remember, when we were all in school, high school or college or grad school,
Hmm.
um, and getting ready for an exam. When you are studied and well prepared for that exam, you go in the day of the exam a lot less stressed.
Right.
But imagine being given an exam, and this is what I've always really compared the loan process to. Imagine going in to an exam, and if you graduate or not really depends on if you pass. And it's literally a pass or fail situation.
Hmm.
What type of anxiety? But you have not been given any information whatsoever to prepare for it. You just go in and you blindly apply. Well, that's what happens with most people who apply for mortgages. They hear things from their friends, they hear commercials on TV, they hear things about, they read things on the internet, but they're not really educated on the process, and so therefore they go in blindly applying. And when you go into a transaction blindly applying, not really understanding what you will be judged on or what the decision will be based on, it's very nerve-wracking, and it could create a lot of stress.
Yeah.
So number one rule, if you want to reduce the amount of stress, really align yourself with a licensed mortgage loan originator, a local licensed mortgage loan originator that is an expert, that has experience
Okay.
in the field.
And should that be before a realtor finding a lender?
So one of the biggest mistakes that everyone, and that's a great question, excellent question. One of the biggest mistakes that most people make is they, meet up with a real estate agent, and they get excited about, picking out a home, and picking the area that they want to live in, and before they even speak with the lender. One of the very first things that you should do before you speak with the real estate agent is speak with a local licensed mortgage loan expert in your area, because
Okay.
that will help you get the pre-qualification process out of the way. And that way, when you actually go to sit down with your realtor, it's like going going shopping with a checkbook or money in your pocket versus
Hmm.
going window shopping. if
Got
you
it.
if you go meet with the realtor up front, you really haven't got your finances in order. So yes, short, long story short, yes, you should absolutely speak with a lender before you speak with a realtor, but most people do just the opposite, and that
Yeah.
creates a lot of the confusion and chaos in the process.
I definitely have to with that being in mind, shout out my realtor. Catherine Mensa. We actually went to junior high school together. And when I was praying about basically who, I should work with, she was one of the people that, God kind of put on my heart. And that is one of the things that she did because I didn't know a lender. I know about lenders, but I knew about like homes. I've been looking for, basically 2 years, just gathering information, seeing the costs, looking at neighborhoods, that type of thing. Um, and she did refer me to a lender. That was an interesting story, as you know, part of. But I'm definitely
Mm-hmm.
not here to, basically talk about that. However, I did also go to one of the things that lender did that was pivotal for me was to go to a home buyers class because I needed, down payment and closing cost assistance. I'm in an older range, I guess, for those first time home buyers because of just life circumstances. And in that class, we learned about the different aspects of purchasing a home, like things that I forgot because I had taken some classes before but never completely finished them through a different organization. But that was probably over 20 years ago. Um, I know I sound young, but I'm not. Oh, not super young. I'll be 49 in May. It's fine. Like I own
That
my age.
that is
However,
that's still young.
well, thank you. Thank you. So I've had a lot of, life experiences that kind of caused me not to be able to purchase before and being informed. It did definitely help. And they also said, speak to the lender. One of the things that really, I guess, was a blessing with me about you all is, and then you in particular, and Karina, I have to shout out Karina was it Barbosa, right? Barbosa.
Yeah, Barbosa. There you go. Mhm.
Barbosa. So I knew I was gonna get it. Sorry, Karina. Just so sweet, so kind, and you all took the time to listen. And then when I told you, like I said, I'm not sharing all that news with the listeners yet, but what I've decided, you didn't sound disappointed. And if you were, you faked it very well. You were just like, we're still here when you decide to do otherwise. And I felt encouraged each time I called, even when I was stressed because of, the information I'd received. Um, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I agree. I think, definitely talking to a lender, call Mr. Ray. We're definitely going to give you opportunity to give your information before we get off of here. But that is super important. And you want somebody, I told you I'm restorative practices. I was talking about at the beginning of the show. And that's one of the things that we do is nurture healthy relationships and have a rapport with people, it makes you want to go back to them, when you make the decisions. And so I appreciate, you all's kindness towards me. And it took away a lot of the stress that I was feeling because of, what I had been told. $900 to come to the table turned into 19,000 because of supposedly the interest rates and my salary and the DTI. That's a huge jump, and so it was a surprise. Now they also, I will, on their defense, wasn't privy to maybe all. Well, they were privy to the same information, but I still was only trying to use a certain amount. But just you should be able to have an open conversation with your lender. Am I correct in that? Without fear.
Yes, yes, yes. Right. No,
Okay.
transparency is so important. Our job is to represent your personal interest as the prospective home buyer, and it's just really a mindset thing.
Mhm.
Our mindset towards each client is that we are excited and privileged to be have the opportunity to become part of your home ownership journey. So we
Mhm.
don't look at clients as necessarily a transaction. It's a journey. It's a long-term relationship. So in spite if you buy your home today or you buy your home next year, we are privileged to become part of that journey, and we look forward to long-term relationships. And the ability to be transparent with your lender is so important. They say it's just like the saying, they say, well, you have to be honest with your lawyer, right?
Mhm.
Because The lawyer is there to represent your best interest, right?
Right,
They are an
right.
expert in the legal field, and so they have to take your personal, circumstances, challenges, whatever they may be, and put them into a format that's that will work out best for you ultimately legally. And so that's our same job, but it's from a financial perspective. So yeah,
Mhm,
being transparent and having that open dialogue is something that is important. And not everyone is as inviting. We believe in inviting the conversation and probing and having that open dialogue. And that open dialogue sometimes is the it can be the difference between why someone may have not been able to approve a loan
mhm.
versus us now being able to come up with a way to actually approve the loan. It's important.
Wow. I mean, I think a lot of the things that you're speaking about just also are transferable skills in life. Transparency. I believe in sharing. To a degree, to and let people know how I'm feeling about whatever the situation is. And I think that I understand you can't get everything you want in a home, but I think that you should be able to get a lot of what you want if you're educated. And so, I think it's super important to know those things. Is there anything else that you think, before we go, that the listener should make sure that they look out for or pay attention to in this process, because we don't want anybody to be stressed. We really want people to enjoy it. Being present and mindfulness is also in a sense of practice, that we also use in restorative justice or restorative practices. And you want to be present in the process. You don't want to be stressed out because of situations like I went through. So, is anything else before we go?
So, couple things, couple takeaways. Sometimes the stress and the anxiety comes from fear
Mm,
of being denied, or fear that they've been or of rejection, or not being able to accomplish whatever it is that you're looking to get done. And my parents, my mother specifically, she's always said to us, a delay is not a denial.
yeah.
A delay is not a denial. So just because one person and no, just because you're told no doesn't mean that that's the correct answer. So our
Mm,
mindset and our approach with all our clients is it's not a matter of if we can help you, it's a matter of how we can help you.
mhm,
And the mindset, the positive mental attitude of, and that can really just be, transferred right over to into the consumer mindset. It's not a matter of if you can, it's a matter of how you can. And so it's all about getting the right information and aligning yourself with the right team, the right resources, and you all can absolutely accomplish your home ownership goals. And that's kind of the, my little ways, and I think that that's something that everyone could really benefit from. Don't necessarily take the first answer that you get, because there's a lot
yeah,
of
shop
resources,
around.
a lot of programs. Shop around, shop
Yes.
around, shop around.
Yes, I really do thank God that I listened to Mrs. Lloyd, because at first I'm the type of person that's loyal. So if I find you and you've helped me out just a little bit, then I will try to stick with you. But I realize everybody's not for everybody. And that home ownership program said shop around too, talk to lender. I mean, talk to other lenders, talk to friends and family, and people who purchase, and see what their experience was. Of course, do your due diligence and research. And I was approved for three different, well, approved for two different loans and pre-qualified for another. And so when I was told that I was not pre-qualified by the third lender, I was like, yes, I was. They were just waiting for me to find my plate. Like, I was educated enough to know what the bank had told me, and I had the documentation in my hand. And I was honest even with all of them. I was just like, I'm trying to find it. One was FHA and one was conventional, and one was like a teacher's next door program. And so I knew enough to know, what to say. And so please just be educated, you all, when you're going through this process. Please don't do it blind. Um, I think that is super important. I agree with you, Mr. Ray, and I'm not the expert, but that's why I have given you a nickname. Did Karita tell you what my nickname was for you?
No, what is it?
It's the lone doctor because you all revived. You all revived me. You all brought my dreams back to life. So hopefully you're not offended by that name because I think I probably
No,
will make that my
I,
title.
I love that name, and with your permission, if I may borrow that name, I would love to hold that title.
You can. You can. And I gave, I hope you received my testimony in writing. And so this will be out and I'll make sure I send you all the link when this comes out. So how can people get in touch with you or, just your office in general, whatever information, contact information you want to put out there, please do.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, the best way to reach out to me, and please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I can be reached at area code 240-552-5363. That's 240-552-5363. And you can also feel free to shoot me an email at any time, which is Richard R at caliverbeach.com. I'll spell that out. That is R is in Richard, I is in Igloo, C is in Charles, H is in Henry, A is in Alpha, R is in Richard, D is in David, R is in Richard at caliverbeach.com, which is C is in Charles, A is in Alpha, L is in Lima, I is in Igloo, V is in Victory, E is in Edward, R is in Richard, B is in Bravo, E is in Edward, A is in Alpha, C is in Charlie, H is in Henry.com. Richard R at caliverbeach.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So everybody that's listening today, I do pray that you will reach out to Mr. Ray and Caliver Beach. They're awesome. Really just generally help relieve the stress. Oh, and I left out the fact that everything for me was done in a week. Like literally, I called stressed on Monday because I just received the news and I was actually going to give up on the process. And by that Friday, I was on spring break for work. I had several different options to choose from, which was just so helpful. It just, I'm very grateful to you all, and I hope that this opens up even more doors and more people know about you. And definitely please stay in touch. Like I feel like I'm a part of the family now. So
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to join you. And please, if the opportunity presents itself again, please have us back. We will love to join you again. We
Thank
enjoyed
you
ourselves.
so much. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. And listeners, thank you all so much for listening and tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Remember, everything that was said in this podcast are our own views. So if you do need a mental health therapist, please seek one, or you can reach me at www.lisalgilliam.com. You can reach me at One Singing Lady on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and that's at One Single Lady, the numeral one. Just inbox me and say, hey, I need, information or resources to a therapist, and I would gladly, share that information with you because I'm not practicing as a counselor now. But I definitely want to make sure you get the resources that you need. And then remember, you can also purchase my music out there on every Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, every place you can buy music or download it. So I would love you all support. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Please note, any comments made on this LLG Random But Real podcast by myself, Lisa One Singing Lady Gilliam, or my guests are our own views. They are not to be made or determine an actual professional or in lieu of an actual professional. If you relate to any of the topics, please seek professional help. Contact a therapist, a psychologist, any other mental health professional, or if it's an emergency, please call 911. Thank you so much for tuning in.